A fire accompanied by heavy smoke in an underground parking garage was reported. Location: Purple Heart Highway. A person is missing in the rear area of the underground parking garage. Visibility is severely restricted. A pickpocketing incident has been reported. The thief must be caught quickly. A tree is blocking a road and needs to be removed. Location: Sweetser Way. The assigned emergency services cannot complete the task extinguish fire and are waiting for new instructions. A vehicle has caught fire. The fire must be brought under control and prevented from spreading. Smoke is spreading into the stairwell. Initiate ventilation measures to prevent further smoke filling the building. A birthday party has gotten out of hand. Uninvited youths have vandalized the house. Location: Crimson Canyon Drive. The missing person was found and brought out of the underground parking garage. There is suspicion of smoke inhalation. The situation was brought under control. The injured person has received medical treatment. One person needs to be taken to the hospital. Golf 1 has arrived at Triana Road and is awaiting instructions. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. A motorist attempted to drive past, resulting in scratches to their vehicle. The damage must be documented for insurance purposes. The tree has been successfully removed and the road is clear again. A group of drug dealers has been identified. Gather the necessary units for a raid in the area. Police and SWAT are required. Location: Chertsey Drive. A party guest grabbed broken glass and requires medical attention. An uninvited party guest went on a rampage inside the house and must be arrested. Document the damage. Several party guests are very upset and must be calmed down. The damage was documented. A guest set the host's bar on fire with flaming whiskey. Arrest the guest. A small plane has crashed into a residential building. The building must be checked for injured people. Location: Cedar Bluffs Way. There are 3 people on the plane that need to be rescued. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. Golf 10 has arrived at birthday party gets out of hand and is awaiting instructions. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. The crowd was successfully brought under control. We've received a report regarding a vehicle parked illegally on the side of the road. Please check the situation. Location: Mariner Drive. The person has received medical treatment. Alpha 30 has arrived at Hit Against Drug Dealers and is awaiting instructions. The passengers rescued from the plane have sustained serious injuries requiring medical attention. No one was found in the building. The damage was documented. You must decide to either use special forces to gain access, or use 2 police officers in disguise to lure the criminals out of the apartment. The injured have received medical treatment. The fire has been successfully extinguished. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. Alpha 4 has arrived at illegally parked vehicle and is awaiting instructions. A theft occurred at a store. The thief did not present any identification. The thief's identity must be verified on site. Location: Green Valley Grocery. The driver was attempting to get herself to the hospital, but her contractions were too strong. Medical attention is required. The mother and child have received medical attention. One person needs to be taken to the hospital. During work on a live cable, an electric arc discharged, seriously injuring a worker who is now unconscious in the assembly pit. Location: Maverick Street. The person must be asked for their name and address. Personal details were provided verbally and confirmed through a verification process. A propane gas cylinder has been damaged and caught fire. Successfully extinguished. A truck with a flat tire has been reported. Secure the area while repairs are made to the tire. Location: West Cartier Avenue. The worker was successfully rescued and now requires medical attention. The person has received medical treatment. Alpha 6 has stopped traffic control due to employee exhaustion and is returning to base. The tire was replaced, and the truck can continue its journey. Attention, New Year's Eve. There will be more noise, alcohol, illegal fireworks, and escalations. A person experiencing a heart attack was reported. Location, West Lake Mead Boulevard. A drunk man damaging property has been reported. A caller has reported a noise disturbance. The situation must be assessed on site and de-escalated if necessary. Location, Espinosa Avenue. The person was given medical treatment. The drunk man is armed with a knife. Multiple people have been injured and require medical attention. The perpetrator must be arrested. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. A caller reported a vehicle that had repeatedly crossed the middle line. The caller is still at the scene and can identify the driver. Location, southbound Rainbow after Balzar. The cause of the noise was identified, and appropriate measures were taken. The witness statements were recorded. During a doctor's appointment, a patient suddenly lost consciousness. Location, Elite Endoscopy. The injured have received medical treatment. 2 people need to be taken to the hospital. The driver is not under the influence. He was using his cell phone while driving, which is prohibited. A citation for a traffic violation is being issued. We've received multiple calls about an accident at an intersection involving multiple vehicles. Send officers to check the situation and direct traffic. Location, North Torrey Pines Drive. The patient suddenly suffers cardiac arrest. Immediate medical attention is required to stabilize him. A person attempted to enter the stadium with fireworks and are now banned from the stadium. Location, Veterans Stadium. Security personnel must be interviewed, and their personal information must be recorded. The drivers seem to be okay, but one of them is stuck inside their car due to the damage. Send in a firefighter to force open the vehicle's door. Roads must be closed to prevent further accidents. The patient was successfully resuscitated and stabilized. The driver has been safely removed from their vehicle. Traffic is now blocked. A fire accompanied by heavy smoke in an underground parking garage was reported. Location: North Rainbow Boulevard. A person is missing in the rear area of the underground parking garage. Visibility is severely restricted. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. The witness statements were recorded. A vehicle has caught fire. The fire must be brought under control and prevented from spreading. Smoke is spreading into the stairwell. Initiate ventilation measures to prevent further smoke filling the building. The situation was brought under control. The missing person was found and brought out of the underground parking garage. There is suspicion of smoke inhalation. The injured person has received medical treatment. Alpha 1 has stopped traffic control due employee exhaustion and is returning to base. water pipe has burst in a residential building. Turn off the water and pump the basement dry. Location, Connemara Avenue. The person who threw the firecracker must be arrested. Location, San Simeon Street. A thrown firecracker has hit and injured a person. The water was turned off. Further damage was prevented. A traffic accident involving a cyclist and a car has been reported. Some of the people involved are trapped. Location, Ontario Desert Largo Avenue. The scene of the incident must be secured against oncoming traffic. The injured person has received medical treatment. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. The vehicle has caught fire and must be extinguished immediately. A heavily intoxicated person has been reported. Provide care for the person and transport them to a hospital if necessary. Location, Smoke Ranch Road. The scene of the incident was successfully secured. The person has been freed from the vehicle and now needs medical attention. Start recording the details of the accident. The fire was extinguished. The injured person has received medical treatment. One person needs to be taken to the hospital. Attention, major incident. A silent alarm has been triggered at a bank. Check the situation. Location, Bank of Nevada. The traffic lights at an intersection have failed. Traffic must be directed manually. Location, Millhopper Avenue. Several customers in the bank have been taken hostage. The road in front of the bank must be closed. A group of onlookers must be held back. Golf 101 has arrived at Drunk Person and is awaiting instructions. An onlooker has caused a car accident. The onlookers were successfully removed. Attention! Exceptionally high crime rate. A particularly high number of crimes are currently being committed. The damage must be documented. Several people must be freed from the car. Several people have been shot and require medical attention. The damage was documented. The hostages have been successfully freed. The bank robbers must now be arrested. The patient received good care, preventing injuries. The assigned emergency services cannot complete the task, free locked-in individuals, and are waiting for new instructions. The defective traffic light caused a traffic accident. The injured have received medical treatment. 2 people need to be taken to the hospital. We've received an emergency call from the city prison. Several prisoners are attempting to escape. Location, prison, North Tenaya Way. The problem has been solved and the traffic light is working again. The perpetrators were successfully arrested. Several people were injured in the accident. One person was injured in the accident. A burglary has been reported in a residential building. The suspected perpetrator is still in the area around the building. Location, Najo Lake Way. Several residents witnessed the incident and should be interviewed. The injured have received medical treatment. One person needs to be taken to the hospital. Some of the guards have been taken hostage. Several law enforcement officers have locked themselves in the basement and require the assistance of the fire department to escape. The hostages have been rescued. Now arrest the captors. perpetrator was successfully arrested. The witness statements were recorded. The injured person has received medical treatment. One person needs to be taken to the hospital. The hostages were successfully freed and the perpetrators were apprehended.